Friends, what I'm about to tell you will blow your mind. It's a story that's been hidden for too long. We're talking about an event that shook a quiet town to its core. Picture this: a peaceful night in Brookhaven, New York. Suddenly, the sky lights up. Something crashes into the park, but it's not just any crash. It's a UFO. Now, I know what you're thinking. Giorgio, come on, UFOs aren't real. But hear me out. This isn't just some made-up story. We have witnesses, we have evidence, and most importantly, we have questions that still need answers. This crash wasn't just a blip on the radar. It was a cosmic event that changed everything. The Brookhaven UFO crash of 1992 is more than just a local legend. It's a piece of history that's been swept under the rug, but not anymore. Today, we're going to dig deep. We'll uncover the truth that's been hidden for decades. Are you ready to have your world turned upside down? Buckle up, my friends. We're about to embark on a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew. From eyewitness accounts to government cover-ups, we'll leave no stone unturned. The truth is out there, and it's time we found it. Let's dive into the mystery of the Brookhaven UFO crash. Mark this date in your calendars, folks. November 24th, 1992. It was a Tuesday, just like any other. People were getting ready for Thanksgiving, but little did they know they were about to witness something extraordinary. At approximately 7:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the sky over Brookhaven lit up like the 4th of July. Witnesses reported a bright object streaking across the sky. It wasn't a plane. It wasn't a meteor. This object was moving in ways that defied our understanding of physics. It zigzagged. It hovered. And then, in a blinding flash of light, it plummeted to the earth. The impact shook houses for miles around. Now, you might be wondering, Giorgio, how do we know the exact time? Well, my friends, that's where it gets interesting. Multiple witnesses from different locations all reported the same time. This wasn't just a coincidence. It was a cosmic event, synchronized across the town. But here's where things get really weird. Within minutes of the crash, strange vehicles were seen speeding towards Brookhaven Park. They weren't police cars or fire trucks. These were unmarked black vans. Who were they? Where did they come from? And most importantly, what did they know that we didn't? The plot, as they say, thickens. Let's hear from the people who saw it with their own eyes. Mary Thompson, a local school teacher, was walking her dog when it happened. She says, "It was like nothing I've ever seen before." The object was disc-shaped with pulsating lights. It moved so fast, then suddenly stopped mid-air. That's when I knew it wasn't from this world. John Baker, a retired Air Force pilot, had an even closer encounter. He was driving home when the object flew right over his car. "I've flown everything from F-16s to commercial airliners," he says. But this was something else. It made no sound. It left no exhaust trail. It defied everything I know about aviation. But it's not just what people saw in the sky. It's what happened on the ground. Sarah Miller lives near Brookhaven Park. She heard the crash and ran outside. The ground was shaking, she recalls. There was this weird, metallic smell in the air. And the trees. Some of them looked like they'd been burned, but not by any fire I've ever seen. These accounts are just the tip of the iceberg, my friends. Dozens of people saw something that night. something that doesn't fit into our normal understanding of the world. But why haven't we heard more about this? Why isn't this front page news? The answers might surprise you. And they lead us to our next piece of the puzzle: Brookhaven National Laboratory. Section 4. Brookhaven National Laboratory. Science meets the unexplained. Now, let's talk about Brookhaven National Laboratory. It's a world-renowned research facility, just a stone's throw from the crash site. Coincidence? I think not. Within hours of the crash, BNL staff were on the scene, but they weren't there to help. They were there to control. Dr. Emily Chen, a former BNL physicist, risked her career to speak with me. We were told it was a containment situation, she says. But contain what? They brought in equipment I'd never seen before, and the readings. They were off the charts. Whatever crashed in that park, it wasn't from Earth. But here's where it gets really interesting, folks. BNL has a particle accelerator. It's called the Relativistic Heavy Ion Collider. Now, what if I told you that on the night of the crash, this machine was running an experiment? An experiment that could, theoretically, open a portal to another dimension? Dr. Chen couldn't confirm this, but she did say something that sent chills down my spine. In the days after the crash, certain areas of the lab were off limits, even to senior staff. And there were people there I'd never seen before. People who didn't look like scientists. They looked military. Section 5. John Ford's controversial video evidence. Now, let's talk about John Ford. He's a key figure in this mystery. Ford was the president of the Long Island UFO Network, and on the night of the crash, he was ready. He had his video camera with him. What he captured could be the smoking gun we've been looking for. Ford's video shows a bright object in the sky. It moves in impossible ways. Then, there's a flash. The camera shakes. We hear Ford's voice, filled with excitement and fear. "Oh my God," he says. "It's coming down. It's actually coming down." The next few minutes are chaotic. But what we see next is astounding. The video shows strange lights in Brookhaven Park. We see shadowy figures moving around. They're carrying something big. Ford zooms in. For a split second, we see it. A metallic surface. Definitely not an airplane. Not a weather balloon. This, my friends, is the real deal. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. Shortly after releasing this video, Ford was arrested. The charges? Conspiracy and attempted murder. Many believe these charges were fabricated. A way to discredit Ford and suppress his evidence. The video? It disappeared from police custody. Coincidence? You be the judge. Section 6. Conspiracy theories, unraveling the mystery. Now, let's dive into the deep end. The conspiracy theories surrounding the Brookhaven crash are numerous. Some say it was an alien spacecraft. Others believe it was a secret government project gone wrong. But one thing's for sure, something happened that night. Something big. One theory suggests that the crash was actually a planned event, a way for aliens to make contact without causing widespread panic. Sounds far-fetched? Maybe. But consider this. Why was BNL so quick to respond? Why were there unmarked vehicles at the scene within minutes? Another theory points to time travel. Yes, you heard that right. Some believe the UFO was actually a time machine. Remember that particle accelerator at BNL? What if they accidentally opened a portal to the future? It sounds like science fiction, but so did smartphones just a few decades ago. But here's the theory that keeps me up at night. What if the crash was real? But what fell wasn't a spacecraft? What if it was a being? An entity from another world or dimension? Think about it. The metallic smell reported by witnesses. The strange burns on the trees. These could be signs of a biological entity, not a mechanical one. Section 7. Government silence and media frenzy. The government's response to the Brookhaven incident is telling, or should I say, their lack of response. No official statement was ever made. No investigation was publicly announced. It's as if they wanted the whole thing to just disappear. But the media, they had a field day. For a few weeks, Brookhaven was the centre of attention. News vans clogged the streets. Reporters interviewed anyone who would talk. The headlines were sensational. UFO crashes in New York. Aliens in Brookhaven. But then, as quickly as it started, it stopped. Suddenly, the story vanished from the news. Reporters who had been camped out in Brookhaven were called back. Local papers stopped covering it. It was as if someone had flipped a switch. But who and why? This silence speaks volumes, my friends. It tells us that something big happened in Brookhaven. Something that powerful people want to keep hidden. But the truth has a way of coming out. And that's why we're here today. To keep asking questions. To keep digging. Because the mystery of the Brookhaven UFO crash isn't just about what happened on that November night. It's about what it means for all of us, for our understanding of the universe, and for our place in it.